Wastewater utilities manage more than water. They manage billions of dollars in infrastructure, skilled people, and critical community resources. Across the country, wastewater utilities face a common challenge: limited funding and resources. In the face of rising costs, regulatory hurdles, and evolving community needs, many utilities are being forced to rely on strategic planning to allocate their limited resources. Our first video explored different funding strategies that wastewater utilities can utilize. This video explores how utilities manage their money, people, and assets to keep water services reliable and affordable. Resource management is more than balancing a budget. It's about coordinating three interconnected pillars: money, people, and assets. Together, these resources form the backbone of every utility's ability to provide safe, reliable service. When managed strategically, financial stability supports workforce development, and workforce planning supports the care of critical infrastructure. The cycle reinforces itself. Resilient leadership protects ratepayers, employees, and the environment. As Thomas Durkin from MWRA explained, resiliency means preparing not for next year, but for the next decade, with a steady, predictable path forward. Ray Slattery in Dodge City showed us how thoughtful rate structures and reinvestment help sustain growth, while Jared Whelan in Mesa County reminded us that smaller systems face the same infrastructure burdens as larger ones, often with many fewer resources. The lesson is clear: a proactive, big-picture approach to resource allocation is what keeps utilities strong in the face of financial, environmental, and workforce challenges.
The first two pillars, money and people, will be introduced by Chad Whiting, director of the Deer Island Wastewater Treatment Plant.
The first pillar, money and financial sustainability, begins with sustainable funding strategies for building financial resiliency. Utilities rely on customer rates, state and federal funding, and bonds to fund both daily operations and long-term capital projects. At the Massachusetts Water Resources Authority in Boston, Massachusetts, Director of Finance Tom Durkin shares that financial resiliency is built around one number: the year-over-year change in assessments. Keeping the modest rate increase between 2 to 3% ensures financial stability while allowing for debt service, staffing, and capital improvements. This long-term outlook means MWRA can absorb rising costs without destabilizing rates. In Dodge City, Kansas, Director of Engineering Services Ray Slattery explained how tying annual rate adjustments to consumer price index avoids sudden steep increases that burden residents. Their biogas facility also generates additional revenue which supports wastewater operations and other city departments. MWRA also uses biogas from anaerobic digestion to generate over $26 million in revenue savings each year with their combined heat and power process. In Mesa County, Colorado, senior civil engineer Jared Whelan described the challenge of small systems with limited customer bases. For them, funding often requires mill levies, USDA loans, and federal and state grants. Their struggle highlights the smaller systems face the same infrastructure cost as large utilities, but with far fewer ratepayers to absorb the cost. One of the most important pillars of a truly resilient utility are the people who operate it. Workforce shortages, retirements, and attracting new talent into the industry pose challenges for wastewater utilities nationally. Dodge City emphasized staffing as one of the biggest hurdles, with Slattery noting the difficulty of finding qualified operators and engineers. Succession planning and partnerships are key to filling gaps. MWRA addresses staffing shortages of hard-to-find certified operators with an in-house job shadow program, offering certification preparation classes coupled with practical hands-on job shadowing of licensed operations staff. During COVID-19, MWRA showed teleworking and flexibility support resilience when crises emerge. Mesa County, operating with a very lean staff, relies on creativity and cross-training just to keep systems running. The message is clear: investing in people is critical. equally important as investing in critical infrastructure like sewer pipes or pumps. Without trained staff, even the best funded infrastructure can fail.
Hi, my name is Andrew Hummel, and I'm a process engineer working at an engineering construction firm called Burns & McDonnell. In my time partnering with utilities to solve some of their water challenges, one challenge that I see universal and is inevitable is managing aging infrastructure and trying to stretch the longevity of their assets. I'm going to talk through strategies 3 utilities use to manage aging infrastructure. These utilities we have already highlighted previously in the video, but include Massachusetts Water Resource Authority, which serves around 2.4 million people, Dodge City, Kansas, which serves around 25,000 people, and in the Mountain West region in Mesa, Colorado. Okay, starting out on the East Coast, MWRA requires independent engineering reviews every 3 years to guide proactive investment decisions to help avoid the cost of run-to-failure strategies. The focus has historically been on capital investment programs, now has shifted to maximizing the abilities of the existing systems to extend the longevity. For Dodge City, Kansas, the asset of concern is the availability of stable water resources in the community. Over the last several years, the groundwater table has been depleting, which is the primary water source for the community. The expense of new wells and water rights is costly. Based on the interview conducted with Ray Slattery, the Director of Engineering, they have taken a proactive measure to ensure water conservation in their area, including taking treated effluent from the South Wastewater Treatment Plant for crop irrigation. 1, this helps offset potable water demands, and 2, they're able to exchange new freshwater rights additionally with the neighboring farmer. A creative partnership that both sustains agriculture and supports aquifer recharge. For communities such as Dodge City, it has been valuable to leverage partnerships with the community and industries to help accommodate capital improvement projects. Mesa County in the mountain region continues to grapple with fundamental operational challenges. Budget limitations have often forced the county to adopt a reactive approach to asset management, where equipment is not replaced until it has already failed. County leaders recognize the inefficiencies of this cycle and are actively working to transition toward a more proactive planned replacement strategy. Asset management, whether through preventive maintenance, reuse projects, or long-term planning, ensures reliability, protects the environment, and stretches every dollar further. To harness resilient utility leadership, one should recognize that resources including money, people, and assets are interconnected. Utilizing and leveraging existing data is gaining popularity in the industry. It has been shown to help make informed decisions. In a 2023 survey shown in the ACE report card, 65% of the surveyed utilities said that they were using digital tools to meet their operation and maintenance needs. However, 54% of these utilities mentioned that they are collecting data but are not properly leveraging the data. With operations and processes being automated, there's still a very important need to invest in workforce training. It should be included in long-term financial planning. At MWRA, it balances its debt structures with staffing and asset renewal needs. In Dodge City, Kansas, they reinvest their biogas revenue into both people and infrastructure. The common thread: true resilience comes from balancing all 3 pillars together, not treating them in isolation.
Every utility faces obstacles. Rising costs, regulatory red tape, and climate challenges test resilience. But opportunities also exist. Federal infrastructure investments, renewable energy, and digital tools can all provide new pathways forward. WRA highlighted the value of stable federal and state funding, along with renewables and digital innovation. Dodge City stressed that while partnerships bring growth, federal funding often comes with costly red tape. Free money isn't always free. Mesa County pointed to education and public awareness as critical opportunities, showing that when communities understand the true cost of water services, support for funding grows. Across the country, utilities of every size are proving that strategic resource allocation sustains communities. From Boston Harbor to Dodge City to Mesa County, resilient leadership means making thoughtful choices with money, people, and assets. The call to action is clear. Support your local utilities. Invest in innovation, and recognize the critical work of the people who keep water services running. Strategic self-reliance is possible. Start with a plan, stay transparent, and never underestimate the value of forward thinking.